Boston Brian here from the MeidasTouch Network. So I have to be honest with you, I was really frustrated when I heard that the Republicans were going to make the first use of their time after taking over the House, talking about Twitter, talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, talking about anything other than what they said they were going to talk about. I remember them talking about inflation, gas prices, helping the American people. But I actually think it's been the perfect opportunity for the Democrats to not only just absolutely slam dunk basically everything having to do with either the Twitter files or Hunter Biden's laptop or anything else that they've brought up in these ridiculous committees, but also giving them the perfect platform to let the American people know that we are willing to work for them. We are done wasting time talking about Twitter. We need to focus on the American people. We need to focus on people like the people of East Palestine, Ohio, other places like that where people need actual assistance. And instead of wasting time on this bullshit, we need to be focusing on them. And can we also agree that Jim Jordan has absolutely lost control of this clown car? I mean, these meetings are just chaos. They're just absolute chaos. I've never seen anything like it, really. Luckily, there are still some adults in the room, so here's a frustrated AOC correctly pointing out that the use of this committee's time is just outrageous, considering the crises and the people in need in this country, and as she states, correctly pointing out the potential crime scene happening in East Palestine, Ohio.
I can't help but communicate that I find frustrating is that there are actual crises happening in this country. A couple weeks ago, there was a devastating derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. And yesterday, I was just lucky enough to wrap up a hearing early, and there were people from East Palestine at my door because they weren't getting a response in their own other levels of government. And so they were just roaming around waiting for anybody to open their door to them to talk to them, any member of Congress to talk to them. And so we sat down and they explained what's going on. And this committee needs to hold a hearing on what is on the derailment in East Palestine. This is not just a disaster site. It is a potential crime scene. People are poisoned and their respiratory issues are getting worse day after day, and I really make this plea on a bipartisan basis. Truly, I truly do. The chemicals that were spilled in East Palestine have short half-lives. Every day that we do not act on this is a day that the evidence evaporates from the scene. And I really plead for this committee to get together and not pursue this on a partisan basis. We need to have executives from the rail company, from Norfolk Suffolk here. We need to have independent scientists here. We need to have the EPA or whichever agencies, the CDC, DOT, whatever it may be, but this cannot be a political food fight. Evidence is evaporating and people are getting sick. And every day that we go on without this, without accountability, I mean, it's not even partisan because in my view, and I'll take ownership as well, both parties are failing in this moment to address the needs of people. And I just sincerely ask that we take this seriously because it's not getting handled at the levels that it needs to be handled. We need to know why there hasn't been a disaster declaration that has been requested yet. You know, I do know that the president is willing to offer one, but we need to cut through the red tape. And if I can just make that plea, because I do believe that this committee, the Oversight Committee, has the unique jurisdiction and power in this body to be able to do that, to cut through that red tape. And so, you know, Mr. Chairman, I sincerely make that plea, me as a Democrat, to you as a Republican. I really don't want us to drag this out because, again, the half-lives on these chemicals, we don't let folks return to the scene of a crime. And we've been letting that potentially, for almost a month now. So for the folks that are there, you know, and for the folks that came in yesterday, I just sincerely ask that we put things aside and we get to work. We had 8 hearings this week. You know, we all showed up, we did this job, but let's get this to the top of the docket, please.
And here's Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, delegate from the U.S. Virgin Islands and ranking member of the Subcommittee on National Intelligence, calling Republicans out to their faces for their, I don't know what you want to call it, teaming up with Elon Musk, defending Elon Musk, using Elon Musk for political services. Then she goes on to call out Elon Musk for the shady characters that he's taken money from. Check out this remarkable clip.
There's something going on between congressional Republicans and Elon Musk. Mr. Chairman, Americans can see through this. Musk is helping you out politically, and you're going out of your way to promote and protect him and to praise him for his work. There are many legitimate questions about where Musk got the financing to buy Twitter. We know for a fact that foreign countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and possibly even Russia and China are investors presently in Twitter. We know how Elon Musk funded the purchase because it's public. Here's what it shows. Musk got $500 million in financing from Binance, a crypto exchange platform run by Chinese billionaire. That billionaire has described his funding as a small contribution to the cause. Musk got $1 billion from Larry Ellison, whose super PAC spent millions on Republican candidates last cycle, including election deniers. Musk got $375 million from Qatar. Musk got $700 million from Vi Capital, a secretive investment fund based in Dubai. And the nephew of the Saudi king is Twitter's second largest investor.
So you've heard AOC point out the misuse of the time and how she'd rather be helping the American people with the crises they're facing right now. You've also heard Stacey Plaskett talk about how she's using facts and reasoning to totally debunk the reason for these committee hearings in the first place. So let's juxtapose that to what somebody on the right, say, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about in these committee hearings. Here's a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene seemingly more upset about her Twitter account than she is about anything that's happening with the American people right now.
Here she comes to wreck the day.
Hillary won, but in 2020, no one could question elections saying Trump won. You abuse the power of a large corporation, big tech, to censor Americans. And you want to know something? Guess what? I'm so glad that you're censored down. I'm so glad you've lost your jobs. Thank God Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now, here's something that disgusts me about you. In your doctoral dissertation entitled Gay Data, you argued that minors should have access to Grindr, an adult male gay hookup app. You permanently banned my Twitter account. That is repulsive. But you violated me. What were my tweets? Okay, let's talk about them. I was talking about the deaths being reported on VAERS. I was also saying that I didn't think any entity should enforce a non-FDA approved vaccine or mask. Guess what? A lot of people agreed with me. By the way, I'm a member of Congress and you're not. I also said the controversial COVID-19 vaccines should not be forced on our military.
Ladies, time has expired.
And your time has expired. I yield back.
I think this perfectly encapsulates the difference between today's Democratic Party and MAGA Republicans. The Democrats want to be helping the American people, and MAGAs only care about themselves, Donald Trump, and whether or not they can spew lies, hate, and racism on Twitter. Hey, if you guys like my videos, like what I have to say, drop it in the comments. MeidasTouch is really, really close to 1 million subscribers, so if you haven't yet, if you could head over there, hit the subscribe button, tell them Boston Brian sent you, I'd really appreciate it. Until then, keep fighting for democracy. All we want to do is hold them accountable. Let's go.
The best part of waking up? MAGA Tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA Tears mug available now at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.